What's going on, y'all? Final video of the day. We're gonna react. We're not. Wow. We're not gonna do any reactions. We're gonna do a Well, yesterday we did a top 5 wrestlers of the PG era, and now we're gonna do top 5 wrestlers of the Attitude era. So before I do this video, I want to give a shout out to my boy Bruce Bliss, Big D, Tyrone Madness. I know Tyrone Madness doesn't do WWE videos anymore like they used to. I can understand why, but still shout outs to him, by the way. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, and he's one of the reasons why I love doing YouTube. I mean, what can I say? He's my inspiration. So let's go ahead and get started with the list. Coming in number 5, The Rock. The Rock has been underrated for years, and I don't think he gets enough appreciation for what he did back then, from the late 90s to the early 2000s, and he made a huge impact. One of the greatest rivalries with Triple H, basically. And one day I was watching YouTube, and I noticed the match that him and Triple H had in '97. And I had no idea that this ever happened before they went to '98 to have that ladder match at SummerSlam, which was a great match, by the way. Then, in 1999, it was huge. These two had one of the best rivalries in like mid 1989 and the early 2000s. In the 2000s, they have dominated the title picture, and let's just say it worked, because seeing those two battle it out for the championship, and so many pay-per-views on Raw, great storylines with Earl Hebner, everyone's favorite referee, Linda McMahon, saving everything, the whole King of the Ring match. But still, The Rock was 2000, because he made wrestling exciting, because it's just so epic to see Triple H and The Rock had one of the best rivalries in any wrestling careers. So that's why The Rock is in my... Oh, let me tell you something. He is one funny guy too. He's part black and part Samoan. But that makes sense, because he is funny. He makes one of the best promo maker, and he'll joan on you within seconds. And I remember this storyline that him and Mick Foley did, the This Is Your Life segment. It was so funny. I remember this one time he brought a broad out from Chicago. He said, "Take you back to Chicago." And I remember this another story is when he said, "You try to feed the people's champion Poontang Pie." Jerry was laughing his butt off though, man. Like, it was just so funny. Everybody was dying up there on that episode of Raw, man. Let me tell you something, man. I kind of miss seeing The Rock on WWE. Unless he shaved his beard, yeah. Unless he died as a black, then I'm up for it. But hey, The Rock is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So that's why he's in number 5. Number 4 is Kane. Now, when Kane debuted in 1987 at Bad Blood, the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Michaels, he created a huge impact. He tore down the door, tombstones Undertaker, caused him to match Shawn Michaels to win, which led to the whole Your Brother Kane is Coming storylines, which I think it worked absolutely perfection. Like, the whole storyline with Undertaker and Kane in 1987 was beyond incredible. When Paul Bearer wanted to blackmail Undertaker, if he don't come back to him, he's going to reveal the secret. So once he told the secret to the world, Undertaker has decided to come clean about what had happened with his family, setting his family on fire, and which led to King debuting at pay-per-view And ever since then, him and Undertaker had this crazy rivalry with each other because they were brothers. But they're not brothers in real life, but it's like a storyline. So Undertaker and Kane is one of the best storylines that's ever happened. From 97 leading up to early 98. Well, in late 98. Because that's when the two decided to have a rivalry once again. When Undertaker turned heel on Kane, and Kane turned babyface, which led to them joining forces for the first time. When they went and fought each other at the Judgment Day. And if you notice the sound effects within the ring, it kind of sounds like in early 1999 ring effects. The way they hit the mat and in the ring. And Jim Ross's commentary voice sounds very different. So you got an early taste of 1989, if you know what I mean. So that's why Kane is at my is at number 4. Number 3 is the Heartbreak Kid, HBK Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite wrestlers. When I remember the match he had with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12. The Iron Man match was among classic, and he became the first WWF champion, and which kind of led to him having a rivalry with Bret Hart once again in 1987. I don't know what they call it, Memorial Screwjob or something like that. But so that's when Shawn Michaels won the match with Bret Hart by using Bret Hart's sharpshooter, and pretty much the referee rang the bell, but it turns out Vince McMahon did that on purpose. So he pretty much screwed Bret Hart. And Shawn Michaels was on the top of his game in terms of being a heel, and which led to the storylines between him and Undertaker, first at Ground Zero and now at Bad Blood and in the Royal Rumble. So Undertaker and Shawn Michaels wrestled 3 times. The first two was in 97, and one was in 98 in the Royal Rumble match. And that's when Shawn Michaels pretty much retired due to lower back injury, because when he did a flip, he hit his lower back on the edge of the casket, which caused him to stop wrestling for a few months. So, actually, it was like a year. So when he came back in 2002 to wrestle Triple H at SummerSlam, it was one of the classics. Now, he has had one of the best rivalries between Triple H and Shawn Michaels is that one guy. Is one of the best wrestlers you ever had. So, and then he went back and fought The Undertaker once again for both WrestleMania matches. And that was the last time you saw Shawn Michaels compete in wrestling in 2010. But he's still one of the best superstars of all time. Like, how could you not? Number 2, this should be a shocker to you guys. The man, the myth, the legend, the phenom, The Undertaker. Undertaker debuted in WCW first originally when he was known as Mean Mark, the Punisher with the mask, now coming in the World Wrestling Federation as Kane the Undertaker. I don't know why they gave him that name Kane, but I guess they're just saving it up for the whole brotherly rivalry between him and Kane. I don't know. But all I know is that when Undertaker debuted in 1990 in November, this nigga looked terrifying. Makeup, looked like an old zombie, curly hair, and you knew he was going to be the future of the WWE. And it turns out he was the future, and he still is the future Hall of Famer. If they could just somehow induct this guy in there already. And I remember this match a few years ago when I seen Undertaker versus Undertaker SummerSlam '94. This was 20. This was 20 years ago, and it was a fun storyline. Seeing fast food restaurants talking about the Undertaker when he came in and he ate up all the donuts, drunk all the milkshakes and stuff, and something like that. And kids from elementary school talking about him and stuff, which led to his return in his purple gear, the blue light and stuff, which I think it fits better on him because it really showcased his true characterization and personality traits of the Undertaker. So when I remember this one match in 1996 when Mankind in a Boiler Room Brawl, Paul Bearer turned on Undertaker after 6 years of being together. So that night on Raw, he came out and rise from the dead, got one knee up, flipping his hair, eyes rolled back of his head. It did one of those things. But nonetheless, guys, Undertaker is one of the best wrestlers you ever had in the company right now. Like, he's like the ultimate GOAT of the WWE. So that's basically the honest truth, guys. And I remember this one of the craziest rivalries he had with Austin around 1999. In mid 1998. Well, in SummerSlam, they became tag team champions. They lost the tag titles after what, a few months? No, after a few weeks. I mean, which led to them the Buried Alive match, the first blood match, and guys, I got to be honest with you. The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin is by far one of the best. Then he came back in 2000 with a new get-up, with a new gimmick. American Bats gimmick. Great feuds with his brother Kane. Undertaker is one of Vince McMahon's best creations that ever stepped foot in the WWE. And I gotta be honest with you all. What pissed me off about this is when they put him in a match with Brock Lesnar, ended the streak, and then you're gonna have Roman Reigns retire the Undertaker. I don't care whether Undertaker retire on his own terms or not. But the fact of the matter is that you should have had Roman Reigns beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. It could have been John Cena. It could have been Finn Balor. It could have been Braun Strowman. But Roman Reigns, really? I'm sorry, but that just doesn't fly. So Undertaker is my number 2. Now, at number 1, this shouldn't be a surprise to you all. Beer drinking, Southern trash talking, redneck, foul mouth punk, Stone Cold Steve Austin is set my number 1. I love this nigga to death. You want to know why I love him? Because he's funny. He has great rivalries between Undertaker, The Rock, Triple H, and among others. He's had one of the best rivalries with everybody in the WWE. And one of the best moments that ever happened to Steve Austin is when at WrestleMania 17, when he turned heel and beat the brakes out of The Rock with the steel chair. And Austin was a savage heel. He hit Lita with a steel chair, and he turned babyface. No, he turned back babyface when it was just in one night when Vince McMahon trying to convince Austin, the old Stone Cold Steve Austin, to come back and give up the stutter one time. But it took Stone Cold a few minutes to get himself back for one night. Comes back to the arena, beats up the WCW crew and comes out and stuns the entire ECW and WCW guys, which led to the Survivor Series match in 2001. But Austin turns face again when he sides with Ric Flair. Then in 2002, he had a rivalry with NWO. Dismembered all three members. And that right there shows just how crazy and awesome Stone Cold Steve Austin really is. And when his last match was with The Rock in 2003, so if he loses, he's not going to wrestle anymore. But he was the Raw general manager, though. So his presence was always funny and more entertaining to watch. And plus, he has fun with the crowd when it comes to going off the script. Like, Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the best. Like, I like when I see wrestlers go off script. So Vince McMahon can't get mad at certain people when they go off script. And I forget to tell you guys, when last year when The Rock returned, he went off the script. Joan on the Big Show making fun of him of how he should have won the Royal Rumble in 2000 because The Rock's foot was on the floor. So Big Show was never eliminated, so he should have won the Royal Rumble 2000. And he got the Big Show mad, which was funny. And he went and did some sexual references with Lana, which was by far the funniest thing that you could ever do. And plus, he went outside and he went on script, and that was the best part he's ever done. He had fun with the fans. So what's wrong? What's wrong with wrestlers going off script? It could be a good thing. So Stone Cold Steve Austin is my number one. So hopefully you all enjoyed this video and my list for my favorite wrestlers of the Attitude Era. Now Triple H is in my honorable mentions because he was a true savage as a heel, and he was the game. He was awesome. And I remember this one winning storyline when when Stephanie faked her pregnancy and he exposed her in front of everybody, and which led to her fighting Triple H or Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. But this is back when women and men were allowed to compete against each other. Now you got this fake, stupid politics running around going on saying that they can't do that anymore. It's beyond me. But regardless, it's still the classic moments that can never be taken away. Period. So hopefully you all enjoy my list. Comments down below. Let's get some likes and subscribe to this channel if you're new. And see y'all later.